The terror of the alien queen. The galaxy was vast and full of many worlds. Some were peaceful, some were rich with life, and some were dangerous. But none were as feared as the planet Zorath. This was the home of the alien queen, a ruler so powerful and terrifying that her name alone could stop entire fleets in their tracks. The alien queen was not like any other being. She was tall, with skin that shimmered like dark stars and eyes that glowed like burning fires. Her voice was cold, but strong, echoing like thunder across the cosmos. Wherever she went, her soldiers followed. Mighty creatures with armor harder than the strongest metals and weapons that could destroy whole cities. The queen ruled with fear. Planets that dared to stand against her were crushed quickly. Their leaders either vanished or swore loyalty forever. Stories spread through the galaxy about her cruelty and power. Some said she could control minds. Others believed she had ancient magic that no one could fight. The galaxy's great alliance tried to stop her many times. Massive warships gathered to face her army. But every time, they failed. The alien queen's forces were too strong, her strategies too smart. She always knew where the enemy would strike and was ready before they arrived. Planets fell like dominoes, one after another, to her unstoppable power. In a distant corner of the galaxy, many people whispered her name with fear. Children were warned not to speak it aloud, and adults prayed for protection. The queen was more than a ruler. She was a living nightmare. Her shadow was everywhere, dark and heavy. But one thing puzzled many. Despite her great power and fear, there was a strange silence from one small planet, Earth. The alien queen never attacked it. No fleets ever showed near its skies. Many wondered why. Was Earth too weak to be a threat? Or was there something else? On Zorath, the queen sat on her throne made of black stone and glowing crystals. She watched the stars with cold eyes, thinking. She had conquered thousands of worlds, yet this human world remained untouched. This annoyed her. Why does this tiny planet escape me? She asked her generals. They looked down, afraid to answer. Some said it was not worth her time. Others believed humans were too weak to fight. But the queen did not believe weakness was the reason. She felt a strange power in humans, a small spark that could grow. Her curiosity grew stronger every day. She decided to send scouts to watch Earth closely. Her scouts were fast and invisible, slipping through space like shadows. They watched humans from afar, studying their habits, their wars, and their dreams. What surprised the queen was that humans, though small and fragile, had something many others did not: courage. Even when faced with danger, many humans fought, bravely, not running away. This was new. The queen had never seen a species like this. Most species either surrendered or hid. Humans stood their ground. Back on Zorath, the queen smiled a cruel smile. She was not used to being curious, but now she was. She decided to test humans, to see if their courage was real or just a foolish hope. "Prepare my fleet," she said, coldly. "Soon, we will visit Earth. The galaxy will watch, and I will crush this human spirit once and for all." The queen's voice was like a command from the gods. Her soldiers cheered, ready to follow her to the ends of the galaxy, far away on Earth. Life went on, unaware of the danger approaching. People went about their daily lives, never dreaming that the alien queen, the terror of the galaxy, was watching them. But among humans, there was one who felt no fear. A young man named Alex, who lived in a small town. Alex had heard the stories of the alien queen, but he did not believe in fear. He believed in standing up for what was right, no matter the danger. Alex spent his days reading about the stars and dreaming of adventure. He was not a soldier or a hero, just a normal person with a strong heart. When strange signs appeared in the sky, flashes of light and unknown ships, Alex was the first to notice. While others panicked, he felt a strange calm inside. He knew something big was coming and he wanted to be ready. Alex's story was about to begin, but for now the galaxy only knew one thing: the alien queen was real. She was powerful, and she was coming. The terror of the alien queen had only just begun. The human who was not afraid while the alien queen's shadow grew darker over the galaxy. On a small blue planet far away, one human stood quietly against the coming storm. His name was Alex. Unlike most, Alex did not tremble at stories of the alien queen. He had never been one to fear the unknown. Alex lived in a peaceful town where life was simple and safe, yet deep inside he dreamed of something bigger, a chance to prove himself, to stand for his world when others could not. He wasn't a soldier or a warrior. In fact, he had no special weapons or training. What made him different was something harder to see: a fearless heart. Many on Earth whispered about the alien queen, but they treated her like a far-off myth. They believed their planet was too small, too weak to matter in the great galaxy. Governments ignored warnings from space agencies, and people went about their daily lives. But Alex knew better. For years, Alex had watched the skies. He had seen strange lights and unexplained signals. His friends called him crazy, but Alex listened carefully. One night, while looking through his small telescope, he spotted a strange ship, a scout of the alien queen's fleet. It was sleek, silent, and almost invisible against the stars. Instead of fear, Alex felt a surge of determination. He decided to warn his town, but when he spoke, people laughed and told him to stop worrying. The media called it a hoax. The world was blind to the truth. The alien queen scouts continued their silent watch, sending reports back to Zorath. The queen grew impatient. "These humans," she said, "they have courage. But how much? We will find out soon." Meanwhile, Alex worked tirelessly. He studied old stories of battles, read every book he could find about space and courage. He trained himself physically and mentally, preparing for what he knew was coming. He built small devices, tools to detect alien signals and weapons from scraps. His closest friend, Maya, worried about him. "Alex, you're risking everything for a fight you can't win," she said one evening. But Alex only smiled. "Sometimes, Maya, it's not about winning. It's about standing up. If no one fights, then everything is lost." Then came the day the sky darkened. Without warning, enormous ships appeared in Earth's atmosphere. The alien queen had sent her fleet. They blocked the sun, casting giant shadows on cities and fields. Panic spread like wildfire. Governments declared emergencies, armies mobilized, but no one knew how to fight such power. On Zorath, the alien queen watched the chaos with satisfaction. "Bring me the human who dares to defy me," she commanded. She wanted to crush him personally, to break the hope that dared to grow. Alex was ready. He led a small group of volunteers, ordinary people with courage, toward the enemy. They knew they had no chance alone, but they believed their spirit was stronger than any weapon. They moved quietly, using the alien queen's own fear of the unknown against her. In the first battle, Alex's team surprised the enemy. They used clever traps and their knowledge of Earth's terrain to outsmart alien patrols. It was small, but it was a victory. News of their success spread, inspiring others to join. But the alien queen was not fooled. She sent her most feared commander, a giant warrior known as the Shadow Reaper, to hunt down Alex and his rebels. The Shadow Reaper was ruthless, stronger than any soldier, and feared even by the queen's own forces. Alex's courage was tested like never before. In one dark forest, they were ambushed. Many of his friends were lost. Alex himself was captured, brought before the alien queen's throne on Zorath. The queen's eyes burned with fury and curiosity as she looked at him. "Why do you not fear me, human?" she asked, her voice cold like ice. Alex met her gaze without blinking. "Because fear gives power to those who want to control us. I choose courage instead." The alien queen was surprised. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Usually humans begged or screamed, but Alex was different. He carried the hope of his whole planet in his words. She smiled darkly. "Then you will be my greatest challenge." Alex was thrown into a dark cell, but his spirit did not break. He knew this was just the beginning. Somewhere deep inside, he felt a growing strength, something ancient and powerful, waiting to be awakened. The queen planned to make an example. of him to show the galaxy what happens to those who defy her. But Alex had a secret no one knew, a secret that might turn the tide of the entire war. As the alien queen's empire spread, one human stood unbroken. His name was Alex, and his story was far from over. The first clash. The darkness around Zorath's throne room was heavy and cold. Alex sat in the small, damp cell, his mind racing with thoughts. He did not know what awaited him next, but one thing was clear. He could not give up. The fate of Earth, maybe even the entire galaxy, depended on him. Outside the cell, the alien queen's guards whispered in fear and curiosity. They had never seen a human who did not break under her power. Some even admired his bravery in secret, but they knew the queen's wrath was terrible, and soon she would return to decide his fate. Meanwhile, on Earth, Alex's friends and the small resistance they had built were preparing for war. News of Alex's capture spread like wildfire, igniting a fire in the hearts of many. They could no longer hide or run. The alien queen's forces were here, and they had to fight. The first clash was near, a battle that would decide if Earth could survive or be crushed like so many others. Back on Zorath, the alien queen studied the reports from her commanders. Her forces had swept across several key planets, but Alex's rebellion was growing. "He is a symbol," she said quietly, "and symbols are dangerous." To crush the human spirit, she planned a show of force. Her army would attack one of Earth's largest cities, hoping to break the resistance and scare the rest of the planet into submission. She wanted to show everyone that no one was safe from her power. Alex, still a prisoner, sensed the urgency. He had to escape. With the help of a secret ally, an alien guard who secretly admired human courage, Alex managed to slip from his cell. The guard, risking everything, led him through dark corridors filled with danger. As Alex ran through the cold halls of Zorath's fortress, memories flashed in his mind, his family, his friends, the peaceful Earth he loved. He knew he had to get back and warn them before it was too late. Outside the fortress, the alien queen's fleet was already in motion. Enormous ships blotted out the sun as they moved toward Earth City. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy, ready to unleash destruction. On Earth, Alex returned just in time. He found his friends preparing defenses, their faces pale but determined. "We don't have much time," he said. "The alien queen's fleet is coming and she's bringing everything she has." Despite the fear, the people rallied. Soldiers, scientists, and ordinary citizens worked side by side. Makeshift weapons were built, and old battle tactics were studied. It was a desperate fight, but hope burned bright. When the alien queen's fleet reached the city, the battle began. Energy blasts lit the sky and buildings shook from powerful explosions. The resistance fought bravely, but the enemy was strong and well-trained. Alex led a group into the heart of the battle. With quick thinking and fearless action, they managed to disable a major alien weapon, turning the tide in one part of the city. His courage inspired others, and slowly, the resistance pushed back. But the alien queen was not finished. She sent her elite soldiers, the Shadow Reapers, to hunt down Alex and crush the rebellion once and for all. These warriors moved like shadows, striking without warning and disappearing before anyone could react. Alex and his team faced these deadly foes in fierce close combat. The battles were intense, with moments where it seemed all hope was lost. Yet Alex's leadership and bravery kept his team fighting. During one fight, Alex was nearly captured again, but at the last moment, a mysterious figure helped him escape. A powerful ally who had been watching from the shadows. This stranger warned Alex that the alien queen was preparing something even worse. As the city burned and the battle raged, the alien queen appeared herself on a massive command ship above the battlefield. Her voice rang out through the city, cold and commanding. "This is your end, human. Surrender now, or be destroyed." Alex stood firm, looking up at the dark sky. "We will never surrender," he shouted. "Our courage will never die." The battle ended for now, but the war was far from over. Both sides knew this was only the first clash, a test of wills between an unstoppable queen and a fearless human. The galaxy watched in silence, waiting to see which would break first. Alex's story was becoming a legend, not just of courage, but of hope against impossible odds. And the alien queen was learning that the human spirit was far stronger than she ever imagined. Secrets of the alien queen. After the fierce battle on Earth, the galaxy buzzed with talk of the fearless human named Alex. But far from the front line, on the dark and distant world of Zorath, the alien queen sat alone in her private chamber. The throne room was cold and silent, but the queen's mind was filled with memories. Secrets she had kept hidden for centuries. The alien queen was more than a conqueror. Behind her terrifying power and ruthless rule was a story few knew. Long ago, before she was queen, she was a child, born into a world torn apart by war and betrayal. Her people were once peaceful, living in harmony with the stars, but greed and fear had shattered everything. Her parents, the rulers before her, had been betrayed by their closest allies. Her family was destroyed, and she was forced to flee, hiding in the darkest corners of the galaxy. It was during these years of exile that she discovered an ancient power, an energy deep in the heart of the universe, raw and dangerous. This power changed her. It gave her strength beyond any other being, but it also came with a price. The energy was wild, and it fed on fear and anger. To control it, she had to harden her heart and become a queen who ruled with terror. Her desire for revenge burned like a fire. She swore to never be weak again and to make the galaxy remember her name. Planets fell before her armies and stars trembled at her command. But inside, a part of her still remembered the child she once was, the part that longed for peace. As she thought of Alex, the human who refused to fear her, the queen felt something new, curiosity mixed with something close to respect. How could this small, fragile creature hold such power? She decided she needed to know more. The queen sent her spies deeper into Earth's secrets. They discovered stories of human history, wars, losses, and great acts of courage. But more importantly, they found something else. Legends of ancient humans who had once reached the stars wielding mysterious power much like hers. This shook the queen. Was Alex connected to this lost history? Was there a reason humans could resist her power? Meanwhile, Alex and his small group worked to understand the alien queen better. They had captured one of her commanders during the battle, and slowly they learned about the queen's past, her exile, her power, and her fear of losing control. Alex realized the queen's greatest enemy was not just the galaxy, but herself. If he could reach that part of her, the part still human, maybe the war could end without total destruction. But the queen was not so easily reached. She was planning her next move. A weapon unlike any other, hidden deep within Zorath, was almost ready. A machine that could drain all life from a planet, leaving nothing behind. It was the queen's ultimate revenge against those who defied her. As the queen prepared this terrible weapon, a dark secret began to surface within her own ranks. Some of her commanders feared the power was too great, too dangerous, even for the queen. Whispers of rebellion stirred among the alien forces. Alex's allies intercepted secret messages. They learned that not all of the queen's soldiers believed in her rule anymore. Some wanted peace, tired of endless war and fear. This gave Alex hope. Maybe the queen's empire was not as strong as it seemed, but danger was closing in. The queen's weapon would be ready soon. If unleashed, it could destroy Earth in moments and crush the human spirit forever. Alex had to act quickly. He needed to find allies, both on Earth and within the queen's own forces. He had to uncover the truth behind the queen's past and the power she controlled. And most of all, he had to face the dark secret at the heart of the alien queen, a AI secret that could change everything. The galaxy waited, holding its breath, as two powerful forces prepared for a battle that was more than just physical. It was a battle for hope, for fear, and for the future of all life. The legend of the alien queen and the fearless human was far from over. The human's plan, after learning about the alien queen's past and the terrible weapon she was preparing, Alex knew time was running out. The fate of Earth, and maybe the whole galaxy, hung by a fragile thread. The queen's dark shadow loomed, closer every day, and her power seemed unstoppable. But Alex had something that the queen did not: hope, and a plan born from courage and wisdom. Alex gathered his closest allies in a secret bunker deep beneath the city ruins. Tired faces looked up at him. Soldiers, scientists, and ordinary people who refused to give up. The weight of the coming battle pressed down on them, but Alex's voice was steady and strong. "We don't have much time," he said. "The Queen's weapon can destroy everything we love, but she underestimates us. She thinks power is only about strength and fear. She doesn't see the courage that lives in each of us. It's time we show her what humans can do." His plan was bold and dangerous. They would strike at the heart of Zorath, the alien queen's home planet, and destroy the weapon before it could be used. But getting there was nearly impossible. Zorath was heavily guarded, and the queen's forces were watching the galaxy like hawks. To succeed, Alex would need help from unexpected places. Using intercepted messages, Alex reached out secretly to the alien commanders who doubted the Queen's rule. These rebels within the Empire wanted peace, tired of endless war and the Queen's cruelty. Some had seen the humans' courage and believed that change was possible. A secret meeting was arranged on a remote asteroid, far from the Queen's eyes. Alex traveled in a small ship filled with worry but also hope. The meeting was tense. Distrust hung in the air like thick smoke. "Why should we trust you?" asked one of the alien commanders, her eyes sharp like daggers. "Because if we don't work together, we all lose," Alex replied calmly. "The Queen's weapon will destroy planets, yours, mine, everyone's. We can stop her, but only if we unite." Slowly, the commanders agreed. The galaxy was tired of fear, and the alien Queen's reign was pushing even her closest allies to the edge. They shared secret maps, ship designs, and information about the weapon's location. As they planned the attack, Alex's team trained harder than ever. Scientists worked on technology to disable the Queen's defenses while soldiers practiced guerrilla tactics suited for Zorath's dangerous terrain. But the Queen was not blind. She sensed the growing threat and prepared her forces. Spies reported the secret meeting and she grew furious. "Bring me Alex," she commanded. "Let him see the true cost of defiance." In a sudden and brutal raid, the Queen's soldiers attacked the bunker on Earth. Chaos erupted. Alarms blared and people ran for cover. Alex and his closest friends barely escaped through hidden tunnels. The Queen wanted to crush the rebellion quickly, but instead, she fueled its fire. Alex realized this was more than a fight for survival. It was a battle for the soul of the galaxy. The Queen's cruelty united enemies and friends alike. Even those who once feared her now saw the need to fight, not just for themselves, but for freedom. The journey to Zorath began. Alex and his allies boarded a small fleet of ships, many patched together from old parts in hope. They traveled through dangerous space, avoiding patrols and traps. As they approached Zorath, tension grew. They knew the Queen's weapon was waiting, ready to unleash destruction. The final assault would not be easy. It was a race against time, a test of courage, strategy, and trust. Alex stood at the helm of the lead ship, looking at the distant planet where the alien Queen ruled. His heart was heavy but filled with resolve. "For Earth," he whispered, "for every world that dreams of peace, we will not fail." The galaxy held its breath, waiting for the battle that could change everything, and the human who was not, afraid, prepared to face the impossible. The final battle, the stars above Zorath flickered like cold eyes watching every move. Alex's fleet drifted silently through space, hidden in the shadows of asteroid fields. The alien Queen's home world was near, and so was the weapon that could end everything. Inside the lead ship, Alex stared at the holographic map. Zorath's defenses were vast, layers of shields, armed patrols, and deadly traps. Every second wasted could mean disaster for Earth and all the allied worlds that hoped for freedom. His team was tired but determined. Soldiers checked their weapons. Technicians ran final diagnostics on their gear, and scientists prepared the device designed to disable the Queen's ultimate weapon. It was their last chance. "Remember," Alex said, his voice steady but low, "this isn't just a battle for survival. It's a battle for hope, for every life the Queen wants to destroy. We fight not because we want war, but because we want peace. The ships entered Zorath's orbit, immediately detected by enemy sensors. Alarms blared on both sides. The alien queen watched from her command throne, her eyes burning with fury. "Send the Shadow Reapers," she commanded. "Let them hunt, the humans and their traitors." The battle began like a storm. Energy beams tore through space, exploding ships into clouds of fire and metal. The Queen's forces fought with ruthless precision, but the rebels were clever and desperate. Alex's fleet split into smaller groups, each assigned a mission, some to draw enemy fire, others to disable key defense systems, and the bravest to infiltrate the Queen's fortress where the weapon was hidden. Alex led the infiltration team. Their ships slipped through tight enemy corridors, dodging patrols and automated turrets. Every step was a test of nerves. One mistake meant death. Inside the fortress, the air was heavy and dark. The weapon was massive, a machine of cold steel and glowing energy, pulsing with deadly power. It was designed to drain life from entire planets in minutes. As the team moved to plant the disabling device, Shadow Reapers appeared like ghosts, silent, deadly, and relentless. A fierce battle erupted. Alex fought with everything he had. Every strike, every move was survival. Around him, his team fell one by one, but they held their ground. Their courage shone brighter than the Queen's darkest weapons. The disabling device was almost ready to activate when the Queen herself appeared. Towering and fierce, she faced Alex with a cold smile. "You think you can stop me?" she hissed. "You are just one human, insignificant." Alex met her gaze without fear. "Maybe," he said, "but one human can change the future." The Queen attacked, and the fight was brutal. Powers clashed, ancient energy against human will. The fortress shook with the force of their battle. Outside, the other teams fought desperately to hold back the Queen's forces. Explosions rocked the planet, lighting the dark skies with fire. Just as the Queen seemed to gain the upper hand, the disabling device activated. A powerful pulse spread through the fortress, shutting down the weapon's energy core. The great machine groaned and then went silent. The Queen screamed in fury, but her power was weakening. Alex used this moment to strike a final blow, pushing her back. Her soldiers, seeing their weapon destroyed and their Queen faltering, began to retreat. The tide had turned. Alex, battered and exhausted, watched as Zorath's skies cleared for the first time in decades. The alien Queen's empire was broken and a new hope was born. But the battle had come at a great cost. Many brave souls were lost and the galaxy was forever changed. Alex looked up at the stars, knowing the fight was not over, but the impossible had been done. The human who was not afraid had faced the greatest terror in the galaxy and survived, and the legend of courage would live forever. A new legend begins. The battle on Zorath had ended, but the galaxy was far from peaceful. The alien Queen's weapon lay destroyed, her empire shattered, and her forces scattered like broken stars. Yet in the silence after war, a new challenge quietly stirred, one that no one expected. Alex stood on the ruins of the Queen's fortress, looking over the strange, dark landscape, bathed in pale light. The cost had been high. Many of his friends were gone, and Earth bore scars that would take years to heal. But his heart was filled with hope, a spark that no darkness could ever fully extinguish. The galaxy began to change. Planets once ruled by fear found new strength. Old enemies spoke of peace, and humans once seen as small and weak were now a symbol of courage that inspired countless worlds. Alex became a legend, a beacon of what one person's bravery could achieve against impossible odds. Yet he knew this was just the beginning. Deep, within the shadows of Zorath, something stirred. The alien Queen had vanished during the final battle, her fate unknown. Whispers spread of a hidden power waiting to rise again. Some believed she would return stronger, hungrier for revenge. Alex sensed this too. Peace was fragile and the darkness never fully disappeared. But this time, the galaxy was ready to stand together. New alliances formed between humans and former enemies. They shared knowledge, technology, and hopes, and together they built fleets not to conquer, but to protect. Alex and his closest allies began a journey, not to fight war, but to explore the stars and find what was left behind by those who came before. Ancient secrets, forgotten worlds, and new dangers awaited. The young human who once looked at the stars with wonder now held their fate in his hands. His courage had changed history, but the universe was vast and adventure endless. And so, under the watchful eyes of distant suns, a new legend began, not just of war and fear, but of hope, unity, and the unstoppable spirit of life. Alex raised his gaze to the endless sky, whispering a promise. "We will protect this galaxy no matter what comes." The alien queen's shadow had been broken, but the light that followed was brighter than anyone could imagine, and the story was far from over.